What's up, it's LoD, and welcome to the new improved Gutalax vocal tutorial video. I have already done a video on this vocal technique, and it currently is my most watched public video, probably because it's the only one of its kind out there, but due to the many comments on it about being unable to see my face and more than a couple cracks about Antifa, I think, I've decided to make a new tutorial where my face is actually visible. Even though it is fashionable in this day and age to wear face coverings everywhere, vocal-related videos are always more fun if you can see the guy's face. So, here we go with how to perform the Gutalax Pig-Snorting vocals, version 2. As I already stated, I've done a video about these vocals already, so basically I'm just going to be rehashing that video, but I'm still going to try to be as thorough as I can. So the Gutalax Pig-Snorting vocals are the sound that the gore grind band Gutalax is famous for, and they're kinda Gutalax's own thing. Like, when you think of Gutalax, you think of not many other bands do them. There are a few, of course, like Spasm and Ahumada Granujo, who was probably the first to do them. But there's not many people who know how to do them, and that's probably because no one knows how the fuck you perform them. When I heard Gutalax's music for the first time, I gotta be honest with you, I really didn't like it, but I wondered to myself, how do you do that vocal sound without effects? And I eventually figured it out, and I'm gonna try and shed some light on how you can perform them. First, two things you need to know about Gutalax vocals. One, they do not require effects, and two, they are a type of inhaled vocal. So if you're familiar with inhaled vocal techniques like waking the cadaver, you know, then if you're familiar with inhaled vocals like that, then if you can perform the middle, then this video will be that much easier for you to understand, but I'll give a quick explanation of it anyway. You basically just tighten your abdominal muscles and your diaphragm and your throat, and you inhale. Creates a really guttural sound, like a slam death metal vocalist, although most slam vocalists exhale from what I've heard. The Gutalax vocal is a variation on inhale gutturals, but instead of inhaling through your throat, you want to try and inhale more through your nose and get the air vibrating more near the back of the throat where your sinuses come out. Now, it's real easy to just snort through your nose, but everybody can do that, and it does sound like Gutalax, but that's a very breath-intensive sound to do, and you can only do like 4 or 5 snorts before you become exhausted and you need to take another breath. So we've got to be able to bring breath control in there while still making that snorting sound. So the way we begin to develop that breath control is we start to make quack noises like a duck, like quack, 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 quack. You sort of whisper loudly and say quack at the same time. Now, to get the Gutalax vocal going, you do the quacking, but you inhale sharply when you do it, like quack, 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 quack. Just forcefully inhale and force the air to the back of your throat, and as you're doing that, gradually tighten your throat and your diaphragm. Quack, quack. Suddenly you'll begin to produce guttural snorting noises, not unlike what you can do with your nose, but they will be more controlled. You'll be able to do it for more than 5 seconds without needing a massive breath. So you're sort of inhaling through your nose and your mouth at the same time. It's your nasal cavity that's making the actual sound. So you've got a lot more breath control this way, and you can actually sustain the snort for a pretty long time, like. So that's pretty much all there is to making the sound, and now it's time for troubleshooting. You might notice that your snort is sounding chattery, like breathy, like you're losing the tone and making a sound that's too much breath. To this, I would just say practice a lot. I've known how to do this vocal for almost a year now, and as soon as I learned it, I posted a video to YouTube about how to do it because I was so eager to share my knowledge and get tons of views, of course. And in the video, the sounds I make are pretty chattery from what I remember. However, I practiced it a lot, and it ended up just being muscle memory, and I ended up being able to do it with minimal chatter. Your second problem might be, you're not making the sound at all. You might be inhaling for all you're worth, but it just sounds like breath. Now, just make sure that your diaphragm and your abdominal muscles are clenched, and you also have to have some tension in your throat, so the air has some resistance when it goes in and doesn't just whoosh down. So you'll know that you've got the right amount of tension. Like if you clench your throat and like where your Adam's apple is, if you can feel like a sort of pit there and a dimple, I don't know what to call it, then you'll know that you've got the right amount of tension. So like you can see that sort of indentation in my throat. That's what you got to have, and you'll know that you've got the right kind of tension. Before I end this video, I want to mention one thing. I'm not entirely sure how healthy this vocal technique is for your voice. Like, I know personally that if I try and perform more than 5 songs or so with it, I usually end up feeling a scratchy feeling in my throat, and it becomes uncomfortable to do further performance. That could just be because I don't do this vocal a lot, and I'm just not used to the feel of it, but still, just be careful. Also, the Gutalax vocalist himself seems to have suffered some vocal damage over the years. His exhaled high screams and pig squeals in the 2019 Brutal Assault live video are frankly atrocious, but that could also just be because his high scream technique isn't the best, which it's not. I figured that one out too. The way he does it sounds cool, but it's not the way you'd usually produce that sound. I'll not get into it too much here. I don't really have much more to say, so I'm going to wrap things up. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, and check out my COVID-19 parody song, too. I'll link that in the description. Till next time, fanboys. Diamond out.